Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Rachel to everyone who is new here, and hey, what's up? How's it going? To all the people who are returning, thank you so much for returning. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I've only done sit-down videos so far. These are my favorite videos to watch, like reading vlogs and bookstore vlogs, my favorite. I have been trying to figure out like logistics of how I would do it. What I think I'm gonna do for like the reading periods, I think I'm going to use this old Canon to film it. The quality won't be as good as like this, but still, won't that make it more retro? I don't know. So I have been seeing all over booktube people reading their favorite booktubers' favorite books. I had thought about doing that, but I don't really have time to order any books and for them to get here for me to do that video. Also, with it being Valentine's Day, I'm in a silly, goofy mood, and I want some romances. I only have 3 books. I've already picked them out. They're right here. And some of them are favorites of my favorite booktubers, so I guess I could kind of say that this is that challenge. Maybe. The first book that I picked is The Bodyguard by Katherine. I think this might be one of Haley Pham's favorites. I think it's one that she really likes. Hello, Clark. Hi. Clark is hiding, but he is here. I have heard that this is a really sweet, cute book. I'm not super into sweet, cute books. So this is a fake dating trope. It follows this guy who's really important. Someone is out to get him, and this girl who is hired on as his bodyguard, but to cover up that she is his bodyguard, they pretend to date, and then real feelings come about. And so I like flipping that on its head of the girl protecting the guy. Like, I really like that. I'm curious to read this one to see if I really like it. I feel like this will be a solid 3 stars, but I'm hoping it'll be more. The next book is a crowd favorite, and I know that it is Sarah Caroli's favorite, and it is Love in Other Words by Christina. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because I just read a book that Sarah absolutely loved, and I did not like it at all. I'm so sorry. Sarah is a sad girl romance reader, and I'm not as into those. I don't think this is like a sad romance. I'm pretty sure that this is like a happy, lovey-dovey romance. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I hope that this is cute, and I hope that I love it. And then the last book that I have picked out is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is probably the one that I feel like the best contender for a high rating, just because this is one of Destiny's favorite books. She is a happy girl romance reader, and that's just more my vibe. It's a grumpy sunshine book, and it has, let me finish my sentences this time. There is a grumpy neighbor and a girl who lives next door who's taking care of her niece, and her and this niece get into some difficulties, and the grumpy neighbor comes to save them a few times, and they end up falling in love. No little girl falls in love with an adult man. That's not what this book is about. If you've seen my haul video, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, these are the books that I'm going to read. I'm excited to do this. Oh, and something else that I thought would be fun is to include the bookmark that I'm using. This is a bookmark that I got off of Etsy. It is the Emperor Tarot card. I don't remember the Etsy store name right now. I'll leave it on the screen, and then I'll also link it below. She does general readings for people and then sends them the card that she gets out of that. And then she sends you what the reading was. The Emperor, I guess, is supposed to be about authority. I don't know. And it's also like really shiny. So anyways, what book should I start with? I'm like most excited for this one, and so I'm really tempted to do this one. But also, maybe I should do The Bodyguard because that's the one that I'm maybe least excited about. I could always start with the longest one though, which would be this one. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this one first. We'll see how this goes. I hope that this works out. So, Lego. Oh, also, something that I should include with this is the beginning part is going to be no spoilers, but then at the end, I'll include spoilers. I don't know how people do this. So, like, at the beginning, I won't include spoilers, but then at the end is where I'll include spoilers for these books as I'm reading and my reactions. Sound good? Sound good. Okay.
Do you remember how we kissed in the kitchen as the coffee poured? By the end my face was sore from your stubble, but I still wanted more. And all the miles that we spent in the air, where we're going I don't care.
I'm back already. Thought that I would do a quick little unboxing. So like, I don't know why this thing is so huge. Also, my mic is right here, so that ASMR is gonna be real nice. A quick tiny unboxing. I think I know what book this is. I'm so excited about it. It's a new author. It's her debut novel. I found her on Bookstagram. Yay! Oh my gosh. Here it is. So pretty. It's called The Brightest Light of Sunshine by Lacina Coney. She is on Instagram. That is how I found her. This is another grumpy sunshine romance. It is about this guy named Cal. He is older and he takes care of his little sister who is like 4 or 5 or something like that. And then it is about her ballet teacher named Grace. I believe that there are trigger warnings in this of SA. I believe that there's no like scenes of it showing, but like that is something that happened to Grace in her past. It's like a slow burn, friends to lovers type situation. I guess like it's super sweet, but yeah, I'm so excited to read this. Also, look at this cover. It's so beautiful. If you haven't heard of this book or anything like that, go check it out. This is her first book. Like that's wild, crazy. Yay! I'm so excited. Love getting book mail.
That night in the restaurant, because I got to say, so I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do? So I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do now? Make me feel loved and treasured.
Thought I would do a quick first impressions. I'm 104 pages in, and so far it's good. I'm hoping that it gets better. I guess I'm a little bit concerned about how cheesy the banter is going to be. I'm worried it's going to be a bit too fluffy, and this was the one that I didn't think was going to be. But right now it kind of feels a bit too fluffy. Also, the longer I'm reading this, the more I think I have read this actually before, but I don't really remember it, which I don't know if that bodes very well for it, but we'll see. But good things about it. I do like our 2 main characters. I do like Naomi and I do like Knox. I feel like their chemistry is good. Right now, I'm just okay with it, but I'm hoping that it really turns me around.
Water in the desert, my fox, my missing puzzle piece. You make me feel loved, protected. Boy, we could talk forever on the couch, sipping bourbon, please. Start up the French press. I'll be thinking to myself, how did I get so lucky? Your heart is sweet like honey. And in the evenings when we settle in bed, it's like you're in my head. How did I get so lucky? So I say it again and again. So I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do? So I'm in love with you.
Just another little update. I am about Page 285 now. I am liking it more. I think I've just come to a place where I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to look too much into some of the word choice, some of the childish language that is used. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to roll my eyes over it. I've just decided that, you know what, I'm going to have a good time. And so I think because of that, I'm enjoying it more. Clark, do you want a wine? Do you have something to say? Nothing. Silence. I feel better about this, you know, and I am back to not being sure if I've actually read this or not. We'll see what happens in the end. I feel like I'll know once I read the ending.
Make me feel loved and treasured. You are water in the desert. My fox, my missing puzzle piece. You make me feel loved, protected. Boy, we could talk forever on the couch, sipping bourbon, please. Making out in the back of that Prius. No bikes in there to interrupt us. In your favorite spot, nothing in the world can touch us. Sometimes you take my breath away. I hope I never forget to say. So, I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do?
So we just got to a very interesting part. The stakes have come out of nowhere. I still hate Tina. I still hate Tina.
I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do now? Make me feel loved and treasured. You are water in the desert. My fox, my missing puzzle piece. You make me feel loved, protected. Or we could talk forever on the couch, sipping bourbon, please. So, what are we gonna do? So, I'm in love with you. What are we gonna do now?
Good morning. ASMR. It's the next day. So I finished Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score last night. As you could see, while I was reading it, I decided that I was going to enjoy the book. Sometimes you can't help not liking a book or really liking a book. You can't really choose that, but I felt with this one, I could choose. I could choose to overlook some of the things that were in it that annoyed me, some characteristics that annoyed me. This book is solid 3 stars, you know, down the middle. I understand the people who really love it, and I also understand the people who really don't like it. I could decide, so I decided that I was going to like it. I liked the kid in it, which I don't usually like that. I did like the couple. I felt like they had chemistry. It was a bit insta-lovey. If you're okay with that, I think you would really like this book. For the most part, the relationship was very sweet. There were a few sections that didn't really make sense to me, and sometimes I was just like, why? I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it to people who don't really have a really good romance recommendation. They're just looking for one with like a decent plot, decent characters, decent writing. I would recommend this one. To people who do not like romance, I would not recommend this one because it goes hard into all of those tropes and just different characteristics that people really don't like about romance. But to people who are just looking for a sweet, fluffy, spicy romance, I think you can. I think you can decide to not get caught up on some of the characteristics of the characters, some of the annoying characteristics of the characters, and also try to ignore the very childish banter and vernacular in this. My first book done. Things We Never Got Over. I think The next book I'm going to read is The Bodyguard by Katherine. This one is going to have is good writing, good character development, and a good plot. It may mean that this one surprises me. I'm hoping.
I didn't know what my heart was in for to the room, and I didn't show, but I wanted to know everything I could about you. See, I was told the dreams were made to single dream in you, but you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor.
Okay. First impressions. I am 100 pages in, and I am surprisingly liking it. I like our main characters. I like Jack. I like Hannah. Sorry, Hannah. It's been a bit of a slow start, but I like it so far. It's made me laugh. It's made me smile. There's been a few instances where I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't really like that part, but those parts are like starting to go away and like things are starting to heat up. So I'm excited to see where we go. I'm happy about this. Who knows? I may get super into this and read a lot of it tonight. We'll see.
'Cause for some odd reason I'm done believing in this one thing I adore. What is love in it? And you came to me like a bird to the breeze, and we floated together for a while. But you had to go. Now I can't win the wind and my smile. See, I was told the dreams were made to be believed in, so I put every single dream in you.
Okay, this book is surprising me, and I love that. I have read a lot more. I'm really liking it. This is a very sweet book. I mean, it could go deeper, but like it's simple, and I like that. And like the plot of it is different and unique enough that it's like really holding my attention. I really like Jack, and I really like Hannah, and I like it.
But you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. 'Cause for don't believe it in this one thing I adore. What is love in anymore? Ooh.
Okay, look at how much I've read. I am gonna finish this book probably this morning. So let's talk about it, right? Let's do a quick little update before I finish this. I am really liking it. I am shocked. It's so funny. Like I said before, characters, plot, well developed. So cute. It's so good. I'm into it. There are some things that I have to vent about, which I will in the spoiler section. I've completely 180'd on this book. Like, first I was very hesitant and thinking like, wow, like at least it's short, so like I don't have to worry about it. And now I'm like, I wish there was more. I pumped to finish it. We'll see where it ends, but I am really enjoying it. Like, wow.
What is love anymore? But you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it too.
Okay, we are back, and guess what? We've got more book mail. This one is a book of the month package, non-sponsored, but hey, if you want to, I wouldn't hate it. I know what my book is, so I know what's in here. This is probably going to be, well, maybe it's not going to be too loud. ASMR. Why am I like this? Ah! You've got great taste. Yeah, I do. Okay. Oh, I got the friend. I've been friend zoned. Classic, you know? Just in time for Valentine's Day. This is a book that I got. It is Georgie All Along. It is a romance book. It is one where I believe Georgie either is let go or quits her job and she moves back home to a really small town. And while she's there, she finds this journal that she has kept for herself when she was little. She's written out to herself like how she's going to get the life that she wants in it. And so she decides that she's going to follow it. And while she's doing that, she runs into the old class clown / class troublemaker. That's probably better. And they bond. It's part romance, part women's reinvention, which I love. I also love this cover. It's so fun. Look at the back. That is so cute. You can't tell me that that isn't cute. So I'm excited to read this one. Maybe I'll read it later on this month. Yay! Book mail. Okay.
'Cause for some odd reason I'm in this one thing I adored. What is loving anymore? What is loving anymore? But you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. 'Cause for some odd reason I'm in this one thing I adored. What is loving anymore? What is loving anymore? But you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. 'Cause for some odd reason I'm in this one thing I adored. What is loving anymore? What is loving anymore? But you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. 'Cause for some odd reason I'm in this one thing I adored. What is loving anymore? What is loving anymore? But you said the bar so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. 'Cause for some odd reason I'm in this one thing I adored. What is loving anymore?
Clark's gonna join me for this. Of course he is. So I finished it. I finished The Bodyguard by Katherine Center. Officially, I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. This was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I feel like I've said that over and over again during my updates. I guess I was concerned it was going to be a bit too like childish, but it wasn't. In fact, the other book was maybe a little bit more childish. I liked the plot a lot. I think it was the plot and really the relationship that really drove this to be as good as it was. Thinking about it now, I wish we could have gotten more. I wish we could have gotten more like character development and more about their struggles, because it is touched on. There were some things in it that I wasn't a huge fan of. I talk about that more in like my spoiler section. But overall, like if you are looking for like a sweet, cute, especially if you're a person who doesn't like spice, this is a good one. Even if you do like spice, it's still a good one. I would recommend this one. 3.5 stars. It's not good enough to be a 4, but it's definitely better than a 3. I liked it. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. All right, and now on to our last book, Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I'm glad I saved this for last. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think I'm going to rate this 4 stars. I think that this is going to be my highest rated book. The Bodyguard turned me around. I have high hopes for this. I think we're going to get a banger with this one. So hopefully I'm right. Hopefully I'm right. Okay.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. You're worth the wait.
Okay, first update. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna cry during this book. I don't remember Christina Lauren's writing being like this, so maybe I have never read a Christina Lauren book. I am only 50 pages in. Look at how I started annotating. I knew from the prologue. I was like, uh-oh, this is gonna make me feel a lot of things, isn't it? I'm concerned only that I'm gonna really like this, and it's gonna make me really sad, which I should have known. I said it. I even said it. Sarah Crowley is a sad girl romance reader. Should have known. I am really liking it so far, obviously.
Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. 2 concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Okay, let's have another update. I love these little lay down updates that I do now. Look at all these. Oh my gosh. I am feeling so many things. I'm so glad that I left this book for last. I don't know really what all I'm going to be able to say during my non-spoiler section. Okay, all I'll say, I really am feeling this book. Like, I'm feeling all the emotions. We'll see. I mean, it could turn out to be not good for me, because maybe it'll rip my heart out. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay.
Be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Okay, last update of the night. I am obviously having lots of emotions about this. I will say my emotions starting to slow down. Not a good look. I'm getting annoyed with a few things. I'll talk about that more in my spoiler section, but I am still enjoying it. It's starting to slow down, but it could turn around. I'm hoping that it does.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. You're worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never.
Let's talk about it. All right. So I read probably another 100 pages this morning. So what I'll say for non-spoilers is there's some movement going on, so that's good. I was very, very happy with the way things projected. However, even with that, there are a few things that still really annoy me, and I'll talk about it more in my spoiler section. But I am happy with the movement. I just need more at this point. This book is making me just so happy and sad and just feel so many things. And so I am so ready. I'm just ready to see like where it ends. It's still really good. It's still staying at like the 4-star mark. We'll see if that continues on. I probably won't update you again before I finish it, but I'm going to continue on. I'm probably going to finish it this morning because I cannot wait. So, okay.
We watch the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Best thing that I'll ever know.
Last review that I have for you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's just so much to go through. How do I even... Okay. I just felt so many things while reading this. There was like this tension that started to like build in my stomach as I was reading it, and I just needed that tension to be released, and it did. But there's something about the ending that has me still, that I still have some tension. I think maybe because there's one thing in the end that really did kind of disappoint me that I'll talk about in my spoiler section. Wow, if you believe in soulmates and you love a friends to lovers romance, what are you doing? Go pick this book up. It is so well written. Officially, I'm giving it 4 stars, but I absolutely loved this. The relationship between Macy and Elliot lasting over time and over years and over decades that I would love so much. I mean, look at, this is probably my most annotated book ever. And like I underlined things and there's just so many pieces to it that just had me feeling so many different emotions. I teared up a little bit at the end. I don't know what else to say. That's not spoiler, but I mean, I recommend this book. Oh, it was so good. It makes me want to read more Christina Lauren writing because the writing in it was just so beautiful. Definitely recommend this one. I think I'm gonna finish off this video now. Wow, this was an experience. My first time ever vlogging, and wow, it was a lot of work. I have a new appreciation for people who vlog. I hope that you really enjoyed my reading reviews. I'll put all of my spoilers after my outro, so if you don't want to stick around and be spoiled, you can just click off the video. But if you want to see all of my spoiler reviews, you can keep watching. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has watched. I probably won't do too many vlogs again because this was a lot. This was a lot to film. I'm thinking that maybe I'll do different genres of books, maybe one of these a month or something. Let me know what genre you would like to see me read next. Please comment, like, subscribe if you want to. Leave comments on the books that I've read and your thoughts, or just like discuss them with me. That would be so great. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, bye. Now for the spoiler section, over halfway done. I like it a lot more. I am liking the relationship between Knox and Naomi. I liked the slow burn. Knox is a little bit annoying to me with him being so mean sometimes. Like, he wanted to get her fired as soon as she walked in the door. Like, that's a lot. Let's not just be cruel to people. I think Tina is a royal biatch. She is the worst. So I'll be interested to see what happens when she comes back. Also, Nash's storyline with him getting shot, like, I don't know if it's going to turn into something where it's going to involve Naomi or what, but I remember at one point there's supposed to be like a mystery to it, and so I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I'll probably maybe give you one more update before I finish it. We'll see if anything like blows my mind and I need to talk about it. Okay, I just got to when Knox was breaking up with Naomi. What an idiot. The least thought through like breakup ever. Like, this isn't even miscommunication. And like, I know that they're probably gonna get back together like super fast, but how heartbreaking for freaking Naomi. Knox didn't think anything through, did he? Again, idiot. I cannot believe right now what is going on. Just too many things. Part of me thinks, Naomi, why did you get in the car with Tina? But also it's like classic Naomi, you know? So I just and I'm tense, which I wasn't expecting from this book, but I am tense. So so for my spoiler, I got really frustrated when it came to Knox. Usually I don't get frustrated with a guy. It's usually the girl. I don't know what that says about me, but in this book, I got so frustrated with a Knox, especially with when they broke up. Like, no reason. There's no reason. Zero reason to it, other than he was just scared. But even that, like, we didn't fully get the information on that until later, and I don't like how it was necessarily revealed. I wish we could have gone through that struggle the whole time. Also, it doesn't really make sense to his character because he was so helpful, he was so gung-ho about her, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I gotta turn it off. Like, to me, that just doesn't, I don't like it when you have the man character go from like super caring, loving to, oh, I gotta turn it all off. I don't know how to do this. Dude, you were just doing it. Like, don't pretend like you don't know. Like, you were literally just doing it. So, to me, that's just kind of, that doesn't make sense. And so, it's not specific to this book. It's just generally I don't like that. But it happens in this book, and I don't like that. Also, the really random ending, I thought that there was going to be a lot more, like, mystery to this. But no, like, it basically all happens in the ending, and, like, they almost get killed, and, like, there's a dead body, and, like, just some really intense stuff, like, happens right at the end. And I guess I don't like how, like, quick that happened, especially, like, Tina's still the worst. I don't like her. I feel like they were trying to redeem her a little bit in the end with that scene, and her, you know, helping them out, but to, like, get out of that situation and save Waylay, like, to me, I was just like, why did you put her in this situation in the first place? Like, if you wanted her to be safe. Like, I don't know. I feel like they were trying to do something with her that just didn't work. And so, to me, still hate Tina. Still don't like her. It's whatever. I know that the next book is going to be Nash and Lena's book, and I'm excited to read that one. I think Nash is a very interesting character. I like the reverse grumpy sunshine of it. Lena is the grumpy, Nash is the sunshine, and he wants to be with her. I like those kinds of books. Those are probably my favorite kinds of books, just because I probably relate with the female character just a bit more. Also, Lena seems like a badass, and I like those kinds of characters. So, what I will say when it comes to this book is we are kind of getting over, but I'm still concerned about too many inner monologues. Not super into that. Oh, Robbie Bobby boy, don't like him. He's the worst. Robbie can suck an egg for all I care. Also, Taylor, not a good friend. I called that from the get-go. I was like, oh, they're going on a trip together? Bet you they're gonna hook up, and they did. I like Jack. He's sweet. He's cute. Excited to see where it goes. And we just got to the part where things are, like, we're starting to really get going. So, they're gonna move in with his parents until Thanksgiving. So that's fun. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I've laughed out loud a few times. Like is that your boyfriend? Is that your boyfriend? Got me. It got me. I giggled. Jack is so obviously in love with Hannah, and Hannah is so obviously in love with him. Robbie can still go fly a kite and just die. Like, he's like one of those characters that's written to be like the absolute worst. And also Taylor's part when she yelled at Hannah and was like, we weren't even best friends, we were work friends. It's like, girl, says you. Doesn't mean that Hannah can't consider you her best friend. Okay. I do find the corgi stalker to be a bit cheesy. It's kind of dumb to me, but I hope, you know, whatever. I wish we could see more of Hannah's, like, badass bodyguard stuff. I mean, we've seen a little bit of it, but wouldn't mind seeing more. Maybe we'll see more at the end. Maybe this last third. You know, there's a few things. We could definitely go deeper with Hannah and Jack, but it's staying simple, and that's okay too. I'm so excited for their first kiss. Like, they haven't even kissed yet, but I still love this book. It's just so cute. The pacing is a bit insta-lovey. I mean, they were together for like a week, and then just like, wow, I'm in love with him. And you know what? Maybe if I was also pretending to date a famous superstar and they were really putting it on, maybe I too would be in love. You know, I don't know. But that seemed a bit fast. We have just gotten to that part where Jack asked Hannah on a date, and I'm so pumped. I can't believe it's only just happened. Like this is crazy. I only have like maybe 100 pages left, and I'm like, what do you mean they're just now going on a date? What do you mean? I love their relationship. It's so cute. I will say I was super annoyed when it came to that dumb corgi breeder stalker person. Like, in my mind, I was just like, okay, what's the point of even having that if like, so that's like the villain, right? Dumb villain. And then the next moment, Jack calls Hannah and is like, oh yeah, we've captured her and she's now in Florida. Like, what? Like, I audibly said out loud, you have a dumb villain, so you have a dumb resolution. Like, that's what it was. And I was like, okay. So, I mean, at least she got to go to Thanksgiving, right? You know, loved that. Live, laugh, loved that. Other thing I'm annoyed about, though, is freaking Kennedy Monroe. And, like, everyone bagging on Hannah, being like, she's the ugliest person in the world, and who would ever, like, to me, like, why is everyone is literally saying that Hannah is like the worst looking person, most ordinary looking person in the world, and I'm just like, she's not that bad. Like, why is everyone saying this? Like, it's a bit overdone. Also, Kennedy being this perfect hair, perfect body, perfect everything person, and then also being like the cruel one, overdone. It's an overdone trope. I mean, at this point, just make her whatever about it. You don't even have to do anything like intense. Make that like a no big deal, like you did the corgi breeder stalker, you know? Big no-no when Hannah said to Jack, how could a person who looks like that have insecurities, be, you know, the most insecure person? And Jack was like, that's a good question. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna pretend like people who are quote unquote really pretty and conventionally beautiful can't have insecurities. We're not gonna do that anymore. Can't believe I am defending Kennedy, but I am. I'm at least defending like that character type. It's overdone. We need to move on from that as a society. So anyways, like between Taylor, Robbie Bobby, and Kennedy, I'm just like, is there, like, why is everyone so intense about telling Hannah to her face that she is the worst person in the world? Just like, no one would be like this. No one would be that intense about it. It's ridiculous. The good things, I am very excited for this date. I'm excited to see how it goes. I loved that first kiss. It was so cute. I knew stupid Robbie Bobby's comment about her being a bad kisser was going to come into play. I knew it. As soon as it was said, I was like, I bet you Jack's going to be like, oh, I'll prove you wrong. And it did. But I loved it. I love that I could guess it. So if it's just like good times until the end, I don't know how I'll feel about that. Like if it just ends with her being like, I'm going to go to Korea, and him being like, but what if I want you to stay? And her being like, no, I gotta go. And then she runs away, even though she's had all these inner monologues about like not running away from things, and she's ready to like stay and fight for something. And then, you know, of course the end will be her staying. But like, if we do that, I'm not gonna be a huge fan of that. I hope that that's not what happens. I hope that it's like another like stalker situation, or like, again, something that will show Hannah's badass bodyguard skills. Like, that's what I want. Like, that's what I want the big issue to be. And then him to be like, oh my gosh, will you marry me? And her being like, no, that's really intense. We're just gonna be together. And he'll be like, okay. And like, that's how it'll end. You know, that's what I prefer, but we'll see. I loved Jack and Hannah. Of course I did. I've been saying that this whole time. The things that I had issues with, I'm glad that they didn't do the ending how I thought that they were going to do the ending. Like, I'm glad that they didn't go with that. I am glad that they went with the ending where we show off her capabilities. but it just felt so rushed. The ending felt so rushed. Also, I didn't like the epilogue. I don't like the explaining everything for us. It reminded me so much of those inner monologues that she would do, and I didn't like those. I wish we could have like gone to their wedding instead of her just being like, oh yeah, we got married. You know, I wish that we could have actually been there for it, you know? Kind of forgave Taylor, but also didn't. Like, there's just a whole bunch of loose ends in there that I just wish could have been wrapped up, and not wrapped up in the way that they did. I was thrown. I was thrown when Jack opened the door and was so mean to her. I was like, what is happening? What is this? Like, I started thinking, like, does he have a twin? Is there like a thing? Turns out he was just in trouble. And like, it was while she was at her car that I was like, I bet you he's in trouble. And sure enough, he was. I will say the message at the end was kind of cheesy, but it was sweet. So it went along with the vibe of the book. So, 'cause yeah, it really was. It was sweet. So I'm glad I read it. I almost cried when in the prologue she was talking about how her father was in love with her mom and the list that her mom wrote for him. Almost cried while reading that. So I have a feeling I'm in for a ride. I already feel like I know who Elliot is from just the little bit I've gotten of him. Like, he's such a sweet boy as a child. I'm sure he's going to be just as sweet as an adult man. I'm curious to see what happens with Sean, and also we're just now getting to know Phoebe, his daughter, so I'm curious to see what happens with that. I hope it's not a cheating thing, but I don't think it is. I'm curious what's gonna happen. I don't know anymore. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Oh my gosh. Elliot is the sweetest human being, I think, ever. I cannot get over just how perceptive he is. Okay, so I'm at the part they just went to dinner together for the first time. So like they did the breakfast and then they did the dinner, and I am just so frustrated because like, what the heck happened? What happened? It better not be something like super dumb. Also, still curious to see what's gonna happen with Sean and Phoebe. Like, I'm not a huge fan of what's like currently going on, because there's definitely feelings, and like Elliot was straightforward when he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be just friends with you. Like, that's just not in my DNA. So it's a little bit setting up for something really messy. And so I'm curious as to like how this is going to work. I mean, granted, I don't think she should be with Sean. It'd be different if like she described him more as just nice and mellow. But since that's all she described him, like, it just makes me, and maybe she's punishing herself. Maybe that's what this is now. Like, she's like, I almost don't deserve this guy anymore. I don't know. Also, there's so many quotes in this. Let's see. Oh my gosh, no. When Elliot said of why he broke up with his girlfriend Rachel, I'm so glad that I made a cameo in this. I couldn't go home to someone else and pretend to love her with everything I have. You're the love of my life. I cannot. And then when she was like, I gotta find a person that it feels right with, and that was Sean. And he was like, well, technically, based off of your criteria, wouldn't that mean it's actually me? And I'm feeling all the things, and I'm terrified, but also like, I mean, they have to end up together, right? Like, what? But like, how is it gonna happen? Oh, okay. I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, spoiler section, let's talk about it. I am getting so annoyed with Macy. I need her to figure her stuff out. I need her to be with Elliot now. I need her to freaking break up with Sean. Like, it's already basically happened. Like, I need it to, like, actually happen. The way that this is being drawn out is just, it's taxing. And also, like, the tension, the same exact tension from when they were younger is happening again when they're older, and it's happening, like, the pacing is exactly the same, and it's driving me up the wall. I need them to move forward. I need some movement. I need some movement forward because it's getting a little cyclical. And so that's what I'll say in the part that I don't like. What I do love, I love Elliot still. Macy, I don't even know anymore, girl. Elliot is the freaking best. Growing up, there is no child who is like Elliot. Like, that wouldn't exist. That understanding, a 14-year-old boy who would talk to a girl about periods, no way. But I love him all the same. I also love the way that love is talked about and the way in which Macy feels when she is around him and the way that that's described in the book. There's so many quotable moments. I love that Elliot does not run away from hard conversations. He tries to push these hard conversations because no one else in the book is doing it. Sean's not doing it. Macy's not doing it. Even her friend Sabrina isn't doing it. She's trying. I'll give her that. But I love that Elliot is just cutting through the bullshit and it's just like, we need to talk about it. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about what's going on. Do you love Sean? I love that he straight up asked it. I was like, yes. Also, I need to know what happened. Part of me is wondering, I'm really worried that something just really dumb happened because Macy is incredibly insecure. She is, which is fine, but I don't understand with how many times Elliot has reaffirmed her, how she is still so insecure when it comes to him. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand something about her character. I need some movement now because we were starting to slow down. I was like super into it and now I'm like, uh-oh, we're having the same issues over and over again. And they just keep happening, and she keeps on having the same conversation in her head, and I don't like books like that, especially if it happens way too much. That's what's starting to happen, and I don't want it to happen because I like this book. So anyways, that's where I'm at. I'll probably have a few more updates before I finish this book, but not tonight. Tonight, I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to think about it. And I'm just going to dwell. I'm going to hope that tomorrow I get all the things that I want. That's what I want. Finally, she broke up with Sean. I needed that. I needed that so much. And also, like, her relationship with Sean and how she was literally just there but not really a part was such a weird thing. It was so strange. Like, I thought it was going to be messy with Phoebe, but really it wasn't. Like, it was weird. We were introduced to these characters, but we didn't get much of them. And I think that that's my complaint is I think there could have been something done with that. Would it have made this a lot more messy? Yes. Okay. And then also Macy needs to get herself together. She is still the absolute worst person when it comes to dealing with tough things. And I get it. Like, that's her character trait. She's had it since she was little. Like, I get it. It'd be weird if she 180'd. But I need some growth in that area of her life because she's still exactly the same as she was when she was a teenager about it. And I need there to have been some growth. Like when Elliot was like, we need to talk about us, like over Thanksgiving, when she, went to his Thanksgiving, like, we need to talk about us. And she was like, how about we do that after your brother's wedding? And he was like, in a month? And I was just like, yes, get her, Elliot, get her. So to me, I'm just like, she's, saying, I just need time. And I get it, like with the pacing of the book, that makes sense. But with her thought process, she keeps on having the same thoughts over and over and over again. And we just keep going in this cycle. And I don't like that when it continues like that. Like, I understand a few times, but when we have like 250 pages of like the same thought process that she goes through, it gets so taxing. We need some movement in that area. Like, finally we've gotten some movement in her dumping Sean and actually going to the wedding with Elliot. Like, at least we have that. But like, I need some movement in her relationship with Elliot, because it's the same exact thing that's going on. She was younger with Elliot. Like, they have finally decided that they will be together when they were younger. And I only have 100 pages left. And I'm just like, this has taken so long for as simple as it should be, because there's literally nothing keeping you two from being together as young people. Like, there's nothing. Like, I understand the like friend argument of like not wanting to ruin the friendship, but I'm just like, okay, come on. The things that I am so wooning about Elliot, of course, I cannot, like, when she finally told him that her and Sean had broken up, and he like immediately just like started like touching her, like couldn't keep his hands to himself. Like, he needed to like be touching her, like pulled her close and like put his hand on her hip, and like just, he could not, like, as soon as she said that, he was like, oh my gosh. And I loved that. Like, it was like he couldn't even help himself. Like, he just needed to be close to her. I will say, like, the moments when Macy does like open up and like accidentally, says something vulnerable to Elliot, and just Elliot's reaction to that, because he's like, oh my gosh, finally she said something. Like, she likes me, is so cute. I can't get over it. It's so precious. Just their relationship, and I love the way that their relationship is talked about. I feel like I've already talked about this, like the language that's used, the way in which it's written is just so cute. Like, it makes you believe in soulmates, because that's what they are. They're soulmates. Like, there's no other way for this to end, except like, I'm also terrified because like, what if, they have to end up together, right? Like, but I know Sarah Caroli, and I know her favorite books, and I know that they are sad, and I am terrified. I need to know what happened between them. I need to know that now. I need to know it. I just need to know. I don't care if it's dumb. I need to know. And if it's dumb, then I can vent about it and we can get over it. But like, I need to know. I need to know. So I'm going to finish this. Leave me alone. I'm going to go. Here are all my thoughts and feelings. So where we left off was they were going to a wedding, and I was interested to see how that was going to go. I liked how Macy was finally saying like yes to Elliot, and we're moving forward in that way. I do find it interesting the little bit where Elliot and her kind of fought a little bit, and then, he was walking away from her. I felt like that made sense, but a lot of the sting was taken out of it when he showed up at the house, like, I don't know, maybe an hour after she left. They talked about the car accident. I had wondered, especially since she didn't like going into cars. Like, it's not dumb. Okay, the big beef that I have really with the ending is not to play trauma Olympics, because that's not what I'm doing. Macy's situation was incredibly traumatic, right? Not saying that it's not. I believe that Elliot's situation was also extremely traumatic. He was SA'd / potentially even R-worded, and the way that that is not talked about irks me a little bit, because guaranteed, if genders were reversed, we would be having a completely different conversation about it. I did not at all like the way Macy responded after he told her that he didn't know what happened. And what she said was, well, you woke up the next morning with your pants around your ankles. You didn't understand what had just happened, like accusing him. And in my mind, no, that's not, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. He was obviously so far under the influence, there was zero consent to what happened between him and Emma. He thought she was someone else. That's how far gone he was. He shouldn't have been sleeping with anyone, including Macy. In my mind, I don't like how that wasn't talked about. I mean, him not even being able to be intimate with someone for that long, just like, I have a beef with that, because I feel like that was a part that wasn't talked about at all, about Elliot's trauma, because he suffered some trauma from that. And so all we really focused on was Macy's, which I wouldn't want to take away a second of focusing on Macy's. Not at all. All I'm saying is to add on to it and add Elliot's trauma. So really that's my big beef. I think it's understandable what happened between the two of them. I don't think it was dumb at all, the reason why they didn't talk for forever. Macy was going through a lot of stuff. She was in a very hard place. She wasn't in a place where she could talk to anyone, including Elliot. I wish that there would have been more conversation. Also, I wish we could have gotten more time of them like together, because right after that we go directly into them being together for like a chapter, and then that's it. And so I wish that we could have had more time of them in the happy times rather than Macy questioning over and over and over again. And I mean, I think I understand a bit more Macy. She still frustrated me, but I could understand her a bit more, which is good. That's a really good thing to do. That was a really good way that the authors could bring her back around and make her a more understandable character. So I did really like that. Okay, so that stuff aside, I still, it was so cute, so quotable. Elliot is the freaking best. If only we could all find an Elliot. Am I right? I was just swooning over their relationship the whole time, because you could just tell that there's never going to be anybody else for them. It was always going to be Macy and Elliot, and I love the way that was portrayed. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more in depth with the side characters, but I understand with all of the stuff that they tried to do with Macy and Elliot's story, I understand why they didn't really have the space for that. I really enjoyed going back in time. I had wondered if those scenes or those chapters were going to get old to me. They didn't. In fact, those were some of my favorite chapters, was them when they were younger. And I like the way that they ended it with Elliot saying, I don't think we need this closet anymore, even though that's the place where they fell in love. I like that, because in my mind I was thinking, like, of course they're going to keep that house. Like, of course they're going to live there, all of that. But I like the reasoning that they gave for them selling the house and then moving forward and being in each other's real lives. So I really like that. Wow, and I teared up a little bit, especially when Macy was like kind of talking to a hallucination of her dad after she talked to Elliot. I thought that was, that broke my heart. I almost want a novella, a prequel of her dad and her mom even though I know how it's going to end and it's going to be so sad. Like, I'm a little bit curious about that. I loved this book. I thought it was so cute. And I knew that the last thing was going to be favorite word. And I knew it was going to be, you know, something like you, but I'm glad that that's what it was at the end. It was favorite word, you. Anyways, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Christina Lauren now. Even with the things that I didn't like, I still loved this book. So, anyways, wow. Okay, I am tired.